Chapter 4. The Journey Begins. Dawn came thin and gray, mist drifting low across the forest floor like slow-moving breath. The fires from the night's rescue had burned down to soft embers, and the air smelled faintly of wet bark and ash. Eldan hadn't slept. He'd tried, stretched out on his cot, staring at the ceiling beams, while the faint hum of the forest pulsed somewhere distant, restless and uneven. Every time his eyes closed, he saw the crack in the earth again, the dangling roots, the frightened faces. When morning came, he didn't hesitate. He packed quietly. Rope, a flask of pine tea, a few loaves of Melly's bread, a lantern filled with amber oil, and the satchel that held the fragment of the golden thread. He stood at the doorway of his home one last time. His garden lay still in the half-light. Dewbells drooped like mourners, but when he brushed his paw along their petals, one gave a faint tink, a small sound, but sound nonetheless. He smiled. Guess someone still remembers how. He turned down the trail. The forest stirred sluggishly, waking. At the edge of the village, Melly waited. She'd been there a while. He could tell by the stack of baskets beside her, and the way her apron was already smudged with flour. Her ears twitched when she saw him. "You're late," she said. "It's dawn." "Exactly. You're late for dawn," he grinned. "I was saying goodbye to my moss." "Tell them to behave." She shoved a wrapped bundle into his paws. "Dried fruit, honey cakes, and, don't roll your eyes, a jar of mushroom jam. It's good for energy. I'll treasure it forever." "You'd better." Her tone softened. "I told the little ones you're just going to fetch spring water for the wells. Didn't seem right to tell them you might not come back." "I will." "You don't know that." Eldan nodded. "No, but I'll try." She sighed, then reached for the acorn pendant around his neck. The amber bead caught the light, glowing faintly golden. "You're sure you don't want company?" He hesitated. "You are needed here. With all the destruction, who knows what will happen tomorrow?" "True." She managed a crooked smile. "I'll try to keep the forest in one piece until you return." They hugged briefly, awkward, solid, warm. Then Melly stepped back. "Go before I start crying and have to deny it later." Eldan chuckled and turned toward the deeper path. The forest narrowed, trees twisting together overhead like braids of memory. He followed the golden shimmer that flickered faintly between branches, not a constant light, more like a trail of reflections. When he reached the ancient bridge, the elder was already there. The bridge stretched across a ravine where mist rose like breath from a sleeping beast. Vines had grown thick across the wooden planks, and faint glyphs glimmered under the moss, old runes of passage, written long before Twigtail was founded. The owl elder stood at its center, feathers silver in the dawn light. "You came," the elder said simply. "You asked." The owl inclined his head. "You've heard the whisperer. You've seen what stillness does. The realms are forgetting each other, Eldan. When one forgets to move, the others forget to listen. Eldan glanced down at the ravine. And if I fail, then all 4 realms will drift apart completely. The thread will vanish, and every sound you've ever loved will fade. He swallowed. No pressure then. The elder's beak curved faintly. Amusement, maybe sadness. You will not walk alone. The world remembers those who listen. Eldan touched the satchel. The fragment inside pulsed faintly, echoing his heartbeat. How will I know where to go? First, you need to go to the mountain realm. Our realms have the closest connection, so it would be the easiest to cross. The thread will guide you to its unraveling. It hums where the world is weakest. Follow the sound. Others fear to hear. He nodded. And the whisperer, it will try to reason with you. To make silence sound merciful, the elder's gaze sharpened. Don't fight it with anger. That's what it wants. Listen, but do not obey. Eldan took a long breath. Listen, but don't obey. Got it. The elder extended a wing. May your paws find balance on shifting ground. Eldan gripped his satchel and stepped onto the bridge. The planks creaked softly, old and alive. As he walked, vines began to loosen, retreating like curtains pulled aside. A faint hum rose from the wood, low, steady, almost musical. Halfway across, he glanced back. Melly stood on the path, small and bright against the shadowed trees, paws cupped around her mouth. Don't forget to eat, she shouted, and if you meet someone taller, ask them for directions. Eldan laughed. Noted. The elder chuckled under his breath. Your friend has the soul of a thunderstorm. That's why the bread rises, Eldan said. As he reached the far side, mist thickened. The air smelled different, sharper, colder, carrying a metallic tang of stone. Beyond the fog, silhouettes of cliffs loomed. The hum in the bridge deepened into a steady pulse, merging with the faint rhythm of his heartbeat. He paused, glancing back one last time. The forest was barely visible now, golden light fading behind the mist. He touched the acorn charm at his neck. See you soon, he murmured. Then he stepped forward. The bridge's hum rose into a single, clear tone that echoed up through the ravine, not sorrowful, not fearful, just alive. And for the first time since the silence began, the forest answered with wind in its leaves.